ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पांचगल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome everyone for today's class on Bhagavad Gita. Before starting, I would like to request to you, you can discuss, you can share a few points from our yesterday's lecture, then we will begin. Yes, anyone would like to say something what we discussed yesterday?
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we continued the discussion of unwanted childs, unwanted population. That if unwanted population came in this world, then it causes problem for their नहीं मतलब उनका जो फैमिली ट्रेडिशन है वो तो डिस्ट्रॉय हो ही गया था, लेकिन उनका एंसेस्टर्स थे, उनको फिर क्या कहते, उनको लिबरेट करने वाला कोई नहीं बचेगा। मतलब कि उनको क्योंकि क्या होता है, विष्णु भगवान का जो ऑफरिंग होती है और जो फूड होता है वही मतलब वो ऑफरिंग होती है, उससे ही वो क्या फ्री हो जाते हैं हेलिश कंडीशन से। लेकिन अगर उनके जो यंगर जनरेशन है वही इरिलीजियस हो गई, उन्होंने फैमिली ट्रेडिशन को फॉलो नहीं करा, तो वो एंसेस्टर भी फ्री नहीं हो पाएंगे। तो इससे अपन रिलेट कर सकते हैं कि आज के जनरेशन में अपन जैसे बहुत सारे मतलब भूतों के साथ, घोस्ट के साथ अपने मतलब आप ऐसा देख सकते हो कि बहुत ज्यादा दिखते हैं। जैसे मैंने बहुत ज्यादा सुना है, ये बहुत सारे डिवोटीज बताते हैं फॉरेन में कि उनके घोस्ट के साथ इंटरेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा बार हो जाते हैं। तो इसीलिए आजकल घोस्ट के साथ इंटरेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा होते जा रहे हैं। पहले ऐसा नहीं था, पहले वो हेलिश कंडीशन से मतलब पुराने पहले के युगों में जो हेलिश कंडीशन से वो लोग मतलब वो जो घोस्ट रहते थे वो निकल जाते थे, लेकिन आजकल बहुत ज्यादा हो गया है वो।
Yes, definitely. Okay, very nice. Okay, anyone else would like to add something?
हरे कृष्ण गुरुजी।
हरे कृष्णा। Yes, Sandeep.
गुरुजी, आपने कल बताया था कि इंसान बिना मतलब की फालतू डिजायर से जुड़ता रहता है, और जैसे जो डिजायर उसे नहीं रखनी चाहिए, और वो जो सुप्रीम लॉर्ड है उसको मतलब जानता भी नहीं, और फालतू की जो डिजायर है वो पैदा करता रहता है, उससे उसके अंदर डिप्रेशन पैदा होता है, और डिप्रेशन पैदा होने के कारण जो हमारी डिपेंडेंसी है हॉस्पिटलों पे बढ़ जाती है।
Yes.
अगर हम सुप्रीम लॉर्ड से जुड़ जाते हैं और तो
Yes.
जो डिजायर है फालतू की वो खत्म हो जाएंगी और हॉस्पिटल पे मेडिकल डिपार्टमेंट पे हमारी डिपेंडेंसी बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से कम हो जाएगी. खत्म तो नहीं कह सकते पर कम हो जाएगी.
Yes. Okay. Very nice, Sandeep. Good. The main point which you said is that if we get connected to the Supreme Lord, then automatically all our mental disturbances will be eradicated, and hence all the problems of life, even including some of the bodily problems, they are just dependent upon the stage of mind. So if we are free from mental disturbances, peaceful in our mind, and satisfied, then we can automatically achieve happiness. Okay, very nice. Yes, anyone else would like to say something?
Hare Krishna,
Yes, Shivam.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we also discuss about that how rules and regulation that we follow that not bound us, but we by following these rules and regulation we become more liberated. We become more freedom,
Free.
more free to do.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
yes, definitely. Very nice. I gave 2, 3 examples of this. I hope you could understand that those examples. Can anyone say any of the examples regarding this, that following the means rules and regulation makes us more free?
Just like Prabhuji, if we drive,
Yeah, yes,
if we
correct.
drive all over the world, if we follow
Yeah.
if we follow the traffic rules, then we can drive freely to all over the world. But if we violate the rules of traffic rules, then uh,
Yes,
traffic police
we become more
will
bound.
catch us.
Yes, definitely. Okay, very nice. Anyone else like to share something? I request all of you that whatever you know, whatever is there, you can without hesitation you can share, and that will make our discussion more interacting. And this is actually more important. So whatever is there, whatever is your understanding, whatever you are able to recall from yesterday's discussion, you are free to share. So anyone else would like to say something, or else we'll go ahead. Okay. Okay, no problem. So we'll move ahead. So today, yesterday we discussed this verse. Dosharete kulagnanam varna sankara karaka utsadhyante jati dharma kula dharma sasvata. So I'll add one more point in this regarding this, and then we will move ahead next verse. So here one more important thing is being mentioned. Kula dharmascha sasvata. Sasvata means eternal. So this jati dharma and kula dharma means this Vedic traditions, Vedic culture, Vedic society based on the knowledge given in Vedic literatures. It is actually a Sanatan dharma. It is Sanatan, eternal, permanent religion. It's not that for some time it has been running on this planet Earth, and now it has been destroyed. It is destroyed. So nobody, because nobody is caring right now. So these all Vedic traditions and Vedic culture, the knowledge of spirituality, Indian spirituality, it has become completely useless. It has no practical relevance, and in future also there is no use of it. Just like suppose in our academics, in science or whatever we study, we find sometimes many theories are replaced by another kind of theories. Just like you all have must read about atomic theory. So earlier the first theory was given by whom? I think J.J. Thomson. Am I correct? The first theory was given by J.J. Thomson or Rutherford?
J.J. Thomson, Prabhuji, plum pudding.
Yeah, J.J. Thomson. Okay. So J.J. Thomson, he gave the first atomic theory where he explained that these atoms are like a watermelon, where these seeds represent electrons, and the entire atomic structure is like this watermelon. But afterwards, Rutherford came and he rejected this theory, and he proved that this atomic model is not like a watermelon shape, but rather atomic model is something like the most of the weight, more than 99% of the weight is centered at the nucleus. It has a very small size, and the rest of the electrons, they revolve around it, having very small weight. And it is said that the radius is something, the ratio of the radius of that nucleus and the entire atomic model is something like 1 upon 10,000. So when this model came, so it was completely different model. And then the model of which J.J. Thomson came, it was rejected. So that is why the model given, theory given by J.J. Thomson was practiced, or was means available, or was accepted in his period, during his period. But afterward, when it was rejected, then it became useless. Nobody now cares for this theory. And even now also, if somebody is doing any research in atomic model, then he will never take the principles given by J.J. Thomson. He will consider not even the all the principles given by Rutherford. Now Niels Bohr has given some further deeper principles, so his principles will be accepted, and for and future also. Now we are not going back to accept this theory given by principles given by J.J. Thomson, because it has been replaced with a better theory, and it is proved wrong also. But this is not the case with the theories and this Vedic culture. That is why this word is being used here, Saswata. Saswata means that these are eternal, although temporarily. Nowadays we see, because of influence of this age of Kali, which is full of faults, people, the most of the people, more than 95% people, they are not following the Vedic way of life, Vedic culture. They are not following, and they have replaced it with their modern way of life, modern civilization. Actually, modern civilization, we should not call it as civilization. Civilization means sabhyata, but there is no sabhyata, there is no civilized life. Everyone is, especially outside of India, Western countries, European countries, they don't follow any rules regulation. Everyone has his own independent mentality to live, to lead his life. So that is why this modern civilization should not be called even called as civilization. It is just a independent way of living. And that is why modern human beings cannot be actually called as human being also. They can be called as polished two-legged animals, simply. Because animals also, you see, you may feel that I am using so strong words, but it is very practical to see. Because animals, they also don't have any rules and regulation in their life. A dog or a hog or any animal, they don't have any rules and regulation for means sex life. They can have sex with anyone. A hog or pig, he has sex with his mother, daughter, sister, and everyone, anyone and everyone, without any restriction. And nowadays, what we see um, in Western countries, even in India, also it has come. People, they have lost all their senses, all their regulations. They simply just want to enjoy sense gratification, and they, for this, they don't follow any rules and regulation. And whatever is there, they want to do, just lead their life. So it is very much similar with the life of animal. Am I correct or wrong? The way people,
Correct.
so the way people they are living, so it is very much similar with the life of animal. So that is why in Mahabharata also, it is not I am saying these things, but in Mahabharata, Vyasadev writes this, that dharmen hina pashubhi samana. Without following the principles of religion, the human society is no better than animal society. At most, they can be called as polished animals, polished or sophisticated animals, two-legged animals. Animals generally have four legs, but these human beings, if they don't follow religious principles, then they can be called as two-legged animals, but there is not much difference. So that is why this modern civilization is not at all a civilization of human being. It is just polished animal civilization. But this is a temporary replacement they have, although because of lack of knowledge or because of our leaders who are leaders in our society, it is their responsibility to nicely preserve this Vedic culture, knowledge of Vedic culture, to nicely propagate these principles of religion. But because they could not do so, they could not protect, and they have diverted their attention towards something else. Uh, so because of which most of the population, they have lost this Vedic culture. But this is a temporary replacement, and again this Vedic culture will come back. And of course it is all like predicted in, and it happens. It's not that the first time only people have become godless and they are not following Vedic culture. Earlier also many times it happened, and this is the age. This is the age designed by the Supreme Lord himself. There are four ages: Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. This four ages constitutes one cycle, which is called as Divya Yugas. One Divya Yuga. After this one cycle completes, then another cycle starts. Then after one cycle, again one cycle completes, then another cycle starts. Just like after uh, morning, then afternoon will come, then evening, then night. And after night, what will come? Again morning, then again afternoon, evening, and night, then again morning. So the cycle is continuing. So one cannot say, if just like right now it is means darkness, so there is darkness and so there is night. So one cannot say that now sun will never appear. Now for always there will be darkness only, for always there will be night only. No, after few hours the daytime will come again. People will start working, everything will be clear, light will be there. So similarly, this age Kali Yuga is right now. At present, this is Kali Yuga, age of Kali means age of fault and hypocrisy, age of hypocrisy, quarrels and faults, full of faults, where no religion will be practiced, and in the name of religion only pseudo religion will be practiced, only cheating will happen. People will uh, it is all mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever I'm explaining, and we can see also these things happening. That whatever, even in the name of religion, people will make business. They will earn money using the name of God, using the name of religion. And we see many examples. Many of the so-called sadhus who are not actually a sadhu, but they just wear some saffron cloth and have a beard and big hairs, and they speak something eloquently, and people become misled, and they use the name of religion and God just to make money, just to enjoy sense gratification. And such kind of people, they get even more punishment. A person who is engaged in sinful activity, he is punished. He gets the punishment for his own account, on his own account. But a person who misleads other in the name of, especially in the name of religion, he gets even heavier punishment. Just like a policeman, if a ordinary citizen, if he steals a property, if he makes any criminal activity, then he is punished according to the gravity of his crime. But if a policeman, if he commits some crime, he steals, then he is heavily punished, because he is a responsible person. He is wearing the garb of dress of a policeman, and he is misguiding the society. What the people will think, that such just see what is the condition of government. Even the policemen, they are stealing, they are doing criminal activities. That is why what is happening now in India, people don't believe in police department. They have still they have more faith on defense academy, army officers and air force officers, navy. But they have lost faith on policemen. Why? Because of such kind of criminal activities done by policemen. So then they are heavily punished. Similarly, if any person claiming to be a godman or claiming to be a religious person, sadhu, in the society, and if he commits anything wrong, then it completely misleads the people, and he is punished heavily, because then the faith of people is destroyed, and many of the people, they start thinking that there is no God, and even if the God is there, then there is no need for such a saintly person. That is why we see so many movies are being made. Oh my God, PK movie, and so many other movies. Why they are making these movies? Because of this reason only. It's not the fault of those movie makers. Yes, of course, they are also faulty, because seeing one person, one so-called sadhu, doing wrong activities, they have concluded that everyone is wrong, which is their fault. But in one sense, if we look from one angle, then they are not faulty, because it is the duty of those person who are claiming to be sadhus. Their character should be up to standard. Just like if you have uh, a chadar, a blanket, white blanket, white chadar, then even one black spot will be visible to everyone. But if you have, if a black chadar is there, then another black spot will not be so much visible. So similarly, a sadhu, a person who is practicing Krishna consciousness, he is expected to have a high degree of character. If he is not fit into this, then the people, they become faithless, and it is the fault of that dongi, or so-called sadhu. So this is all. This is all effect of this age of Kali. But one good news is that two good news are there. One is that even in this age of Kali, which is full of faults, there are still few religious movements. There is still few saints or saintly persons who are practicing these principles of Vedic literature very nicely, up to standard, and they are preaching also it very nicely. They are also getting very nice complete benefit, and the people who are following them, they are also getting benefited out of it. Although the number of such people are very less, maybe 1%, 2%, or 5%, but still there are few peoples, and we are fortunate that we have this Bhagavad Gita as it is, and sadhu like Srila Prabhupada, who was completely selfless, who went to USA at the age of 70, not for earning money, not to make followers, but just to give this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is to the Western world, so that they can also get the complete right knowledge, and benefit their life, and become devotees of the Lord, and properly understand what is the aim of life. Srila Prabhupada, he is one of the purest saint, a great soul. So we are very fortunate, by Krishna's grace, we are in contact with such uh, saint. So this is one good news that we have, and you all are connected. And if we just follow, gradually we will ourselves feel that we are able to advance, and we are able to control our mind, we are able to know our aim of life, we are able to advance spiritually. And another good news is that this duration of Kali Yuga, and just like I mentioned, there are Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So if we take the age of Kali Yuga to be X is equal to 4,32,000 years. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. The age of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. And if we take it as equal to X, then the age of Dwapar Yuga will be 2X. And the age of Treta Yuga is 3X. And the age of Sat Yuga is 4X. Then can you tell, in terms of X, what is the duration of entire cycle? Yes, can anyone of you? It's a simple mathematics.
10x.
Yeah, very nice. 10x. So just imagine this one cycle constitutes the total age is 10x, and x is equal to 4,32,000 years. So that makes the age of one cycle 43,20,000 years. So out of this 43,20,000 years in one cycle, only 4,32,000 years is given to the age of Kali. And only in this age, this Vedic culture is destroyed. Destroyed means not completely destroyed. almost 95%, 99% it is destroyed, but still there will always be uh, s- bona fide right kind of saintly person, always, in even in the age of Kali. A few 1 2 5% will always be there, but most of the part will be destroyed. There will be no following of Vedic culture. So, but it is only for for like 32,000 years, which is only 10% of the total age of this cycle. Okay, so this total age of only 10% of the part is the period where people they don't follow the Vedic culture, and rest of the 90% of the time people are well aware of the knowledge of Vedic culture, and they are very nice. They very nicely follow it, and they are very completely peaceful and happy. So that is why this is being used here. Kula dharmasya sasvata. So even if temporary this replacement comes, this 10% of the time, but again this Vedic culture will be established. But we should not wait for next means Satyuga, because it is too long for us. Although it is very short time, 10% of the age only in one cycle, and such this one cycle, and such thousands of cycle, 1,000 cycle makes the one day of Lord Brahma. You understand? So as compared to the life of Lord Brahma, this period of age of Kali is very short duration of time. So even if there is no lack of Vedic culture, only on this Earth planet, in upper planetary system, there are always a Vedic culture. On this Earth planet, for this 10% of the time in one cycle, there is lack of Vedic knowledge of Vedic culture, and rest of the time there is complete establishment of Vedic culture. People nicely follow, but still we should not be. We should we are fortunate that we have the opportunity to again accept those principles and get benefited. So we should take advantage. And if we nicely do it, then for us, it will always be like Satyuga. There is no difference. Because what is the meaning of Satyuga? Sat means truth, Satya. So when everyone is completely nicely following principles of Vedic religion, Vedic scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and they just live their life in Satyuga. Satyuga means golden age. And we find many devotees who are following this Krishna consciousness path, they just live very peacefully and happy. Even though external world, outside world, people they have so much suffering and disturbed condition of life. But the devotees who are following it nicely, they live peacefully and happily. They have no problem. Although the effect of this Kali Yuga will be there on our body, just like in the age of Kali, the age of the body reduces, memory gets reduced, body means so many diseases arises, and so many similar shortcomings. This will be there, but still, at least mentally, and mentally also the age may affect. But because we are following the true path, the spiritual life, we are living in golden age, and this is the meaning. So that is why uh, we should not be worried. This that I'm telling this thing because many people they have this confusion or misunderstanding, misconception that if the Vedic this is the best path, the knowledge of Vedic culture is the best path, Vedic way of life is best path, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is best, then why only few people are following it? Why most of the people, most of, most of the countries they don't follow? So I just explained the reason, and it's not for all the time. After some time again the period will come. Just like suppose uh, when suppose in a classroom, if a teacher is teaching some subject to his students, then when the teacher is looking at the students and explaining the topic, then everyone is quite completely quite silent, and everyone is very much listening to the teacher. And that means whenever he is teaching, his students are nicely listening to them. But as soon as the teacher looks down and starts means looking at the book just to change the pages, then what happens is students immediately they start laughing and talking to each other and doing all kinds of activities, and they make the classroom very means so much noise is there. But that is a very small period of time. Again, the teacher will look upward, and then again all the students will become disciplined. Similarly, here also, for this short period of time, Kali Yuga, the Kali has taken over, and the Vedic culture is destroyed. But again, this all the Vedic culture will be established. So this was one thing to be discussed. Kula dharmasya sasvata. And one more thing, we can have assurance, we can have confirmation that because this Vedic culture, Vedic tradition, this is Sasvata, eternal occupation, eternal religion. So anyone who tries to follow this, he will also become eternal, and he will have eternal protection, eternal safety. He has no cause of fear. And it is said, Dharmo rakshati iti rakshata, that if anyone is properly following the principles given by the Supreme Lord, even if sometimes he is harassed, sometimes it appears that he is in problem because he is properly following the principles of religion, still he is not at all any loss, because these principles are eternal. So this principle itself, they will give eternal protection to him, and he has no cause of fear, because these proper Vedic principles, they are not different from the Supreme Lord himself, who is himself eternal. And rest everything, modern civilization, whatever people they are doing, it is just a temporary phase. And even this after some time, we can observe after some time what will happen, because of living completely independent, these resources will be finished, and then people will be forced again to depend upon nature. Again they will come back to their senses, and again they will try to uh, revolve this, again follow these Vedic principles. Okay, so this was the thing, and then we'll go ahead. Now Arjuna is saying, उत्सन्न कुल धर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवत्येत्यनुशुश्रुमः. So one of you can read translation and purport. Yes, who will read? Who has not read till now, you can read. Santosh, you can read. You have not read till now. No?
Okay, sir. O Krishna, maintainer of the translation. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by discipline, succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Purport. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in the Varnashram institution by which before that one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called
Prayashit.
prayashit. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planet to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities.
Yes. So here in this verse, two, three things are very important. I will try to cover, or rest I'll cover tomorrow. So one important thing which is being mentioned here, Arjuna himself is saying, that he is saying, "O Krishna, maintainer of the pupil, I have heard by disciplic succession that those who family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell." So this is very important, disciplic succession. Arjuna, he is saying, I have heard by disciplic succession. He is not putting the argument using his own mental speculation, using his own experience, or using his own logic. Although he is giving the raw logic and reasons, but he is giving reasons and logic not from himself, but he is saying that whatever I have heard from great Rishi Munis, great sages in disciplic succession. So before going ahead, let me tell you the definition. What do we mean by disciplic succession? Does anyone know what do you mean by disciplic succession? Yes.
जी पूरी
Yeah. Tell what do you mean by disciplic succession?
the teaching that came from मतलब जो टीचिंग से जो लॉर्ड कृष्णा से स्वयं चली आ रही है गुरुओं के द्वारा एज इट इज वो होती है डिसाइप्लिक सक्सेशन.
Okay, very nice. So this is called disciplic succession. Disciplic succession means these teachings, this especially these Vedic teachings, knowledge of Vedic culture, it comes down from guru to disciple, guru shishya parampara. That is why it is also known as guru shishya parampara. In English, it is called as disciplic succession. Anyone who says that I have a knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should ask him, who is your spiritual master? Who is your guru? And if he says, I have no guru, then we should not accept his knowledge. Then his knowledge is not bona fide. Because everyone must have a proper spiritual master. And this ultimately, this series should go towards the Lord. That means the beginning of this chain should be Supreme Lord Krishna himself. And in our disciplic succession, we have the Lord Krishna. He gave this knowledge, Vedic knowledge, entire Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma in the during at the beginning of creation, many millions of years back. Lord Brahma gave this knowledge to Narad Muni, who was his own disciple and son as well. Narad Muni gave this knowledge to Vyas Dev Ji, who was his disciple. And then Ved Vyas, he gave this knowledge to Madhvacharya. Then Madhvacharya gave his knowledge to his disciple. And this way, in this disciplic succession, this knowledge has been received properly. And the author of this Bhagavad Gita as it is, who has written this purpose, which we are uh, reading, his name is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Many times I just quoted him that he went to America at the age of 70. So why he went? Because his spiritual master, his guru ordered him that you go to West and preach the same knowledge in English language so that others can also get benefited. So he comes in that disciplic succession. So that is why his purport, his explanation explains as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is not a distorted version. And that is why we are seeing the result. What the result? That any people around the world, when they read this Bhagavad Gita, they become devotees. And they themselves start practicing the principles of Bhagavad Gita, and they preach also. Not only Hindus, but many Christians, many other religious people of belonging to other religion also in different countries. They also read the same Bhagavad Gita as it is. They also become devotees of Lord Krishna. They chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Many of you, if you have visited Vrindavan, you must have seen there are many foreigners who are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They dress like our Vedic tradition, dhoti kurta, and they preach this Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because of this pure message of Bhagavad Gita given by Srila Prabhupada, they are accepting. So this is very important, the disciplic succession. And why this is important to get knowledge from such disciplic succession? Because if we manufacture our own knowledge, if any person of this world, doesn't matter how much talented, how much intelligent he may be Einstein, or you put thousands of Einstein together in one person, one brain. You put one brain equal to the thousands of Einstein, but still that will be a very less experienced person. When he will give some knowledge, that will be imperfect and incomplete knowledge. Why? Because any person of this world having experience of his own life only and having a limited brain, he cannot describe the entirety of the creation. He cannot give what is the purpose of this creation, who created this universe. Even Albert Einstein and Newton, who were considered great scientists, they also accepted these facts. Albert Einstein said, I am like a small child who has entered into a library and who sees there are so many books and who can understand that these books are written by somebody, but he does not know how to read these books, what is written on those books. This is the condition of greatest scientists. And they were very genuine. That is why they accepted. They were humble. Albert Einstein and Newton, they were great souls. So they accepted that we are very insignificant. But nowadays we see many people, even if they don't have any knowledge, they are not so scientifically advanced like Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, but still they think that there is no God. We are all perfect. Whatever my experience is, that is all in all. We don't need the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And what is the use of hearing from others? We should manufacture our own knowledge, how to lead the life. What is the purpose of this universe? We only know everything. This is meant for our enjoyment. So all these conclusions given by only foolish persons. So this is not at all good, because that will always keep us into darkness. We will never come to understand what is the real purpose of life, what is the real purpose of this creation. That is why this discipline succession is very much important for us. And this great scientist Albert Einstein used to say that there is a perfect brain behind all cosmic situation. And Newton also, he was a firm believer of God. That is why Albert Einstein and Newton, both of them used to read Bhagavad Gita. Not only these two scientists, but there are many scientists. But I'm telling these two names because they are the most famous one in our scientific world. But there are many scientists: Srinivas Ramanujan, Maxwell, and Michael Faraday, and the person Schrodinger, and there were many scientists. They accepted this fact that there is God, and also accepted that the most valuable knowledge is given in Bhagavad Gita. It is the highest level of knowledge. They accepted, and there are many more great personalities. So any intelligent person, if he has any little bit of intelligence, they accept that we cannot give complete knowledge about this world, our own life, and we cannot manufacture complete knowledge how to lead this life such that we can attain perfect peace and happiness. We should, rather we must take knowledge from this disciplic succession, from the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Then only we can go ahead. And Arjuna is a very perfect example. He was so qualified, such a great personality. Just imagine Arjuna, he was not just a warrior, he was a Kshatriya. I'll just give the qualification, I'll just tell the qualification of Arjuna. Then we can just imagine what was the level of intelligence of the people at that time, 5,000 years back. Arjuna, he was a Kshatriya, a warrior, and Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And it is said that Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna for about 40-45 minutes. In 40-45 minutes, Lord Krishna explained entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna was so intelligent that he could understand the entire Bhagavad Gita in those 45 minutes. But nowadays, even the greatest of personalities, the most intelligent person in the world, they are not able to understand Bhagavad Gita throughout their life. So we can just imagine what was the level of intelligence of Arjuna at that time. And he was a Kshatriya, not Brahmana, not such great sage. So what to speak of those great sages like Narad Muni, Vyasadeva, and other Brahmanas present at that time? How much intelligent they must be. But still, having so much intelligence, still they did not manufacture their own knowledge. They did not say that I know everything, and whatever I am speaking, that is complete and perfect. We don't know, we don't need knowledge from God. Rather, they all accepted that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we should take knowledge from Him. And it is said that Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam, that the principles of religion are directly given by God Himself. Nobody else can give these principles except God Himself, because He only perfectly and clearly and completely knows about His creation. He only knows what is the process, by which process people of this world can become happy, because He is the Supreme Lord. He existed before the creation also, He is existing now also, and He will be existing after the annihilation of entire creation. So he is the most experienced person. That is why in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma himself says, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adi Purusham. He is Adi Purusham, oldest, oldest person, but Navayovanam. Although he is oldest person, but he is Navayovanam, completely young. We see the paintings of Lord Krishna. He is always young. We never find that Lord Krishna is having beard and having white hairs. No, he is always very young, handsome, a beautiful boy. So these principles, this disciplic succession is very much important. But those who have not so much developed intelligence, they don't accept these things. They say that whatever I know, that is sufficient for me, and I know how to lead my life, and I know how to become happy in my life. I don't need knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Then what happens to such kind of people? Arjuna is saying that their family traditions are destroyed and they always dwell in hell. So this is the condition. What to speak of after this body, after death, even in this body, in this life also. Those people who only depend upon themselves, who are having so much false ego that I know better than anyone else, and I don't need guidance from anyone in this world. So what happens to them? So they just lead their life according to directions given by this polluted mind, and then the mind completely drags them, and they become completely disturbed and unhappy, dissatisfied. They engage in all kinds of sinful activities. And here it is said that if the people like this kind of people, if they engage in all kinds of sinful activities which are prohibited in Vedic literatures, Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures, then they must reside in hell. There is no option for them. If before death they don't adopt a proper way, they don't become submissive towards God, then this is their punishment. Now somebody may say that what is this? This is like a dadagiri. Why? Why so much punishment should be given? Why not make everyone independent? But no, this I have already discussed yesterday, that if a person if person he becomes just independent to lead his life, then he becomes more bound by his own actions. It's not that some superior god is so cruel that he is making him to go to hell. No, this is the laws of nature designed by the Supreme Lord himself. But these are the laws. It's not that the Supreme Lord is envious of him or partial to him, that he is unnecessarily accusing him or he is unnecessarily putting him into hell. No, the Supreme Lord has designed rules and laws of nature, just like government has given some laws that if you act like this, you will get such and such rewards or such and such punishments. So it is not the fault of the government. If somebody goes against the laws of government, so then if the government punishes him, this is not the fault of the government. This is the fault of that person, because government never said that you break these laws. If everyone, if a citizen nicely follows the laws given by the government, then he is even awarded, he is even promoted, he is given even more facilities. Similarly, Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord, he made laws of nature. So if somebody is following, he gets promoted to higher planets, he gets more facilities, and eventually if he becomes completely surrendered and submissive to the Lord, he may even get out of this material world. But if somebody breaks those laws and becomes completely independent, that then that person, because of not following the laws, because of his own independent actions, his own actions performs, he gets the sinful reactions, punishments, and he goes to hell. So there is no fault in it, and this is completely correct. Nobody can say that this is wrong, that means I am living my life according to my desire. Why the Supreme Lord is giving me punishment? No, first of all, our life is not our. This body, senses, and the whatever resources we are using, this does not belong to us. This is given by the Supreme Lord to us as a gift, and if we misutilize this gift, then we will be punished. It is very logical. Like many people, they say, when I was studying in my college, some of my friends who used to drink and smoke, I used to tell them, why are you drinking and smoking? This is against the laws of nature. But they used to tell, "Whoa, this is my body, this is my life. I am smoking, I am drinking, I am not harming anybody. If I am drinking, but I am not harming other person, I am not killing anyone, I am not hurting others, then what is the problem? Why should I get punishment where I am breaking the laws?" But he's wrong, because he is thinking this body belongs to me. But no, this body does not belong to him. This body has been given to him to perform a specific purpose, perform specific actions according to the directions given in the Bhagavad Gita. But he is not doing this, then he will be punished. Just like, so for example, if many of you are studying in college, so some of you may be living in hostels. Suppose somebody is living in college hostel. So a hostel, the college hostel, they give you room to live. So if a student, he thinks that this room belongs to me, so now it is my room. So if he starts destroying the room, he starts breaking the walls and windows and doors, then what will happen? Will he not be punished? Will he not be fined? Can he say that this room belongs to me, so it is up to me, in whatever way I may use, I can use this room? No, he cannot say, because that room does not belong to him. That room is given to him as a gift. Okay, you live here, but that does not mean he can misutilize that room. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we take the lessons, we take the knowledge from disciplic succession and properly follow it. And Arjuna is setting a very nice example. Whatever reasons and logic he is giving, he is basing his logic not according to his own independent mental speculation, but he is placing all those logics what he has heard. Okay, so that is why this is important. I think time is over. Otherwise, a few more things are there. I'll discuss those things tomorrow in tomorrow class. Okay. With this, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, without hesitation, you can ask. I spoke a lot about disciplic succession and using our life. So if you have any questions, you can ask either in English or Hindi. Yes. Anyone is having any question? Please ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as you said that this age of Kali Yuga is very
Yeah.
short when we compare to the whole cycle.
Yes.
Mm, so uh, so as Krishna said, the person who knows Krishna in truth is sudurlabha, means
Yeah.
very rare.
Yes.
So why he said so?
Because the person who properly and completely knows Krishna, he is a pure devotee of the Lord. And such kind of devotees, they are completely free from all vices. All vices means completely free from all kinds of pollution from within their heart. And this is very rare. They have completely surrendered themselves to the Supreme Lord, to his will. And such kind of devotees, they are very rare. But there are many people who may follow Vedic culture, Vedic knowledge, who may become submissive to the Lord and follow the instructions of the Lord. But gradually, everyone, it's not that when Lord Krishna is saying that such a person is Sudurlava, that means only one or two will become like this, and then the rest of the people, they cannot become like them. No, only anyone who is following the Vedic culture, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, sooner or later he will also come to that platform. That is for sure. But it takes a long time, and actually it takes many births. That is also explained by the Lord. So in that context, because it takes a long time to become completely purified and go back, uh, means to spiritual world. But even if somebody is not at that level, if somebody just follows the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, then even in this life, even if he has not perfected completely, if he has not completely controlled his mind, if he is not completely free from all the vices of mind, all the pollution of mind, but still if he has started practicing this teachings of Bhagavad Gita, she gets happiness and peace of mind in even in this life. Okay, because there are various stages when one practices spiritual life, and many people they follow karma yoga, karma kand, then karma yoga, then jnana yoga, and then after that some of them start practicing bhakti yoga, and even in that, when one ultimate achieves perfection, he is completely purified soul. So about that soul here Lord Krishna is speaking. But the rest of the other persons who are practicing means this path, they also get the auspicious results, and they are on this path towards that supreme goal, and eventually they will also get. Okay, am I clear? So you have anything else to ask?
Hare Krishna, sir.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Divyanshu.
सर मतलब जो दिमाग में मतलब बाउंडेशंस होती हैं सर, मतलब जब भी अपन कुछ करते हैं तो सर मतलब आता है ना कि ये मिल जाएगा वो हो जाएगा, तो मतलब इन सब से कैसे फ्री हो, मतलब जो फल रहता है मतलब कर्म फल, सर
Yeah,
उससे
yeah.
कैसे फ्री?
Yeah, definitely. So this is all because you have to understand, this is all because of this flickering nature of mind. And this is explained in third chapter. When we'll discuss the third chapter, that will be explained nicely by Lord Krishna. And Arjuna asked this question. He says, actually he says, Sanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manyavayuriva suduskaram. That Sanchalam hi manah Krishna, his mind is so flickering. And because of this flickering nature of mind, it again and again, whatever is the condition of mind, because by default, as I said, everyone's mind is full of pollution. So much dirty things are there within the mind, everyone's mind, whoever has taken birth in this age of Kali, everyone by default. So, and another point, this mind is so flickering. So definitely it goes towards those things again and again, it desires. But there is process. Lord Krishna says, when Arjuna accepts this, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balavat dridam, that it is very difficult to control the mind of Krishna. I can control the wind, I can control the tsunami, but it is difficult for me to control mind. Then Krishna says, Asamsayam mahabaho. Yes, definitely. Undoubtedly, it is very difficult, Arjuna. But with suitable practice and detachment, one can attain this control over mind. And what is that suitable practice? That suitable practice is practice of this process of Krishna consciousness. And that detachment, what is that detachment? Detachment comes when we have this knowledge. So by regularly, if you regularly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and regularly hear these discourses on Bhagavad Gita, gradually you yourself will feel that you are able to understand the mind. First of all, before controlling the mind is something different. That will start after some time. But before that, we need to understand what is mind, and before that, we need to understand how does mind functions, and I am different from mind. So these things first one has to understand. Just like before fighting with some of the enemy, before starting your fight, first of all you have to understand who is the enemy, where he is located, what is the strength of that those enemies. Then only you will start fighting. Okay, so keep patience. It's not a task you can do in one night. It will take some time, but the guarantee is there if we just follow the process given in the Bhagavad Gita. And if one does not accept the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then there is no hope, because mind is so powerful. That is why we see, even if a person who is able to achieve all success in his life is still at any point of time in his life, the mind may cheat him and drag him down. And we see many examples are there. So we should not depend upon the mind. Rather, we should use our intelligence and accept this process. Definitely we'll get over it. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has any questions? Or will we stop here? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, will you explain about the false ego?
False ego. Okay. False ego
Yes,
means,
Prabhuji.
ego means identity. Our identity, any identity is called ego, and false ego means false identity. That is called false ego. And true ego means true identity. And when we are just going to finish in 1 or 2 days, we are just going to finish this first chapter. And when we'll start the second chapter, when Lord Krishna, actually when he starts speaking, he starts giving the knowledge, his first instruction, first knowledge is regarding this only, false ego. First of all, Krishna will establish our real identity. He will establish who are we actually, the soul, spirit soul. So when we will discuss this, so in great detail, we'll discuss how to overcome this false ego, false identity. But right now, you can just understand false ego means having false identification with mind and body, not identifying ourselves with the Supreme Lord. That is called false ego. Okay.
It is said as Prabhuji that it is much finer than the intelligence. So
Yes,
how
it
is
is
it?
much. It
How
is
is it?
much. Yes. How it is?
How is it fine? How is it finer than intelligence?
This is three elements are being explained by Lord Krishna: mind, intelligence, and ego. And this will be explained in, I think, fourth chapter. So in fourth chapter, we'll discuss how false ego is subtler, but it is subtler, just like earth. Then water is more subtler than fire, air, and sky. Then mind is even subtler than sky. Sky means this electromagnetic waves. You can uh, say like sky. And then mind is even finer than electromagnetic waves. And then intelligence even finer.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, this space is known as the ether, na?
Yeah. So same thing, na? Because space, today's scientists, they say space as vacuum because they don't have knowledge about this substance, ether element, this ether element. That is why they say space or they say vacuum. But actually, it is not vacuum. It is some element. But just to understand, because we don't know, scientists don't know. So just to understand, because electromagnetic waves travel in space, so we can connect with this. Electromagnetic waves travel in vacuum also, so we can connect like this. So actually, it is some different element. Okay, it is much subtler.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So our modern science is so means less advanced. We can just imagine. It has only knowledge about earth, water, fire, air. Only 4 gross elements, not even about the sky, vacuum. And what to speak of mind, intelligence, and then ego. Actually, because of ego, having ego is a conception. Mind and intelligence is some element, but ego is a conception where a soul identifies himself, thinks himself that I am this body, I am this mind, I am such and such person. I am, if that soul is in the body of a dog, then he thinks I am a dog. If he is in the body of a hog, he thinks I am a hog. And if he is in the body of a president of America, he thinks I am president of America. So this conception is actually false ego, and that is why it is a very subtle element. It's very difficult to differentiate between mind, intelligence, and ego. Okay, and we do not need to understand these technical details. When we'll come to seventh chapter and fourth chapter, we'll just try to understand what Lord Krishna is speaking, explaining how to become free from this entanglement. That is more important for us. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has any questions? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.